Okay, thank you very much. So, good afternoon, everyone, and it's good to welcome us to the last but amazing section that would really, I would prefer to use the word catapult us to having an amazing start for 2025. And it's my pleasure once again to welcome us. And of course, we had a training section last week, Sunday, and that was really a launch pad into what we are going to still do today. And today is going to be a continuation from what we had last week. And as well, it's going to be more practical because we'll have more time today and there would be no form of interruptions. So I think it would be necessary for us to still know a bit around what we do here at Tribe. So I would just, in as much as I would love to share, still want to hear from persons seated in the audience. Okay, me releasing something I'm supposed to ask. So let me now put it up to us. So when was the first we had a section here at Kayode Consulting Council? You don't have to look at your phones. So just give me first the day, the date, and what the theme was. So that will be the stats before, and I'll go further. So, when you have the mic, you have the opportunity to be the one to ask anyone, right? So, okay, so Mr. Fed, yes. So, I'll just allow. So, who can tell us? So I don't just point. Who can tell us, please? Just make an attempt. There's no. Okay, yes, you
All
can
right, so we
go.
started with the series Sapa to Surplus.
Are you
And
sure? The first series. Okay. All right, that's fine. But can you remember the dates? Yes, you can just July. Yes, that's correct. So we started on a Saturday, 20th of July, 2024. That was about a week after Dr. Kayode's birthday, if you can recall. And we began on a Saturday. So it was after the first section, we had to move to Sunday because a number of persons preferred Sunday. So that's my first question. And the second question would be, I just want one person to share, just one person. So far, looking at the series that we've had, what was your most engaging series, and which of them had an immediate effect on your current, I don't want to call it circumstance, or what you were facing, and it really helped you become better at that? So after saying that, I'm now going to share a few things and we'll move on. So who wants to? So this time, I think I will now allow a number of persons speak. I wanted to say just one, so I'll give two persons, a male and a female. So Dr. Moreni Keji, I hope I pronounced it well this time. Can you share with us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
All right. So for me, it was what really helped me then was the series on Sapa to Surplus. Probably because I was facing a lot of financial challenge then. So then it was like I just came out from school, fresh graduate, and NYC was throwing me to what kind of land I didn't know about, and I needed a lot of money. I needed how to not I had money then, but I needed how to manage it, budget it, distribute it, and also not just spending, but also have a savings for myself, something to keep to myself. So it was during those series I learned some principles, but then Personally, I applied the okay, I had to like cut down some percentage to my own savings. So I sat down to sit down and see what could really work for me. And what worked for me was 60-20-20%. That was what worked for me.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. That was really amazing. I love the last part you emphasized on 60, 20, 20. I think we're almost on the same, just a slight difference. So one other person, a male this time. So even if this is your first time coming here physically, maybe you've been part of us, part of the virtual section, can you just share with us your learnings, what you think, what particular series stood out for you, and how you were able to apply it to what you're doing? Okay. Sorry, is this your first time being here? Okay, your first time. Oh, first. Okay. So, Dr. Asika, this is me putting you on the spot immediately. Yes, you've been consistent. So can you share with us what series really stood out for you, what you learned, and how you applied it?
Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Um, I think for me, two series stood out for me. The first being the series on mastery and the series on finance. So for mastery, there was a whole lot to learn from the series on mastery, but I picked something which helped me personally in my life because before the mastery class, I was looking to gain an internship with a clinic here in Abuja. So, during the course of the mastery series, Dr. Kayode mentioned that there is need for consistency, you know, whenever, whenever you set your heart to a thing, you need to be consistent in that thing. So I was looking to gain internship with Blue Blood. So um, at that point, I'd sent about two letters to Blue Blood, and I wasn't getting reply, and I was always looking at my mail, to see if I will get a reply from them. So before the mastery class, I have decided that I won't continue sending messages to them because I felt if this thing will come, it will come. But then the mastery class made me realize that if this is what I need, and if I really feel this will do me good in the part of my career, that I shouldn't shy away from it because I get two no's. Yeah. So having that in mind, I kept on sending more mails, and just recently, about a month ago or so, I got a message from them that I got the internship, and it was a big deal for me. Then on finance, of course, due to the upbringing I had, I already have an idea of saving, right, and the importance of saving. But then, if I'll use the Bible terminology, they will say you are doing something, but you are doing it wrongly. There's a way the book of James said it when you are praying, but thank you. So that was how it had been for me. I was just saving, not really knowing what exactly I was saving for. But with the class on mastery, I was able to bring my thoughts together. You know, last week during the call, I mentioned that I had a tax. I gave myself the tax of raising 10 million, and this was something I wouldn't have ever dreamed of. Because I remember the budget I I set up for myself at the beginning of the year, somewhere around February. The budget I had was to raise ₦1 million by the end of the year. But then, with the finance class, my mind was open to do more. And yes, I didn't get 10 million, but the money I got by the end of, as this year is running out, is not something by the start of the year I would have ever imagined that I will have something like this by the end of the year. So these are two things that stood out for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really, really profound. And how many of us have been able to ask our minds questions since last week, Sunday? Remember what Dr. Kayode said? The more reflective you are, the more effective you would become. And this was really deep for me. No, we had lots and lots of catchy but effective quotes that I had to really reflect on from last week, Sunday. And one thing that it did for me was normally, because I sort of lead an organization, it's usually towards the end of December that I reflect on everything, our wins, and have our report. But this time, because of the section on Sunday, despite how engaging the week for me was, I was able to look through everything that we have done. At first, it was seeming like we've not had progress, but I saw lots and lots of progress we've had this year. And in fact, just yesterday, we launched a series. And as a result of that series, yesterday, no, 6th December, so that should be 2 days ago, we had someone who got interested in what we're doing. And at the start of next year, we are going to receive support to continue what we are doing. So it was still based on trying to look at what we've done, and knocking on those doors. For me, one thing I keep telling myself, keep knocking on those doors. And that's what Dr. Asika has shared. The number of no's you've received doesn't define you or what you're doing. But then just keep pushing and you would hit it. So I won't want to take our time because we would have Dr. Kayode come speak to us really practically today. But I just needed to mention the last thing to us, who can tell us why we are here, the team specifically, and your expectations for today. Just one person. One person who can tell us why we are here and your expectation for today. Okay, Dr. Toby.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah. So actually this is my first time here, and I attended the virtual one last week. So the network was giving me issues. I did enjoy the topic last week, and I know we're still going to continue this week. So there was something Dr. Femi said. That was what we all said some minutes ago. The more reflective you are, the more effective you become. And then I was thinking, and I was like, if I want to become more effective, I shouldn't just be attending virtually. Instead, I should come in. So that's why.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So
That's
my
amazing.
expectation is that I just don't want to be motivated, but I just want to have a better reason to be more effective. I want to know how to be effective. Thank you.
And definitely, you would learn how to be more effective and you would have an amazing start of 2025. So just a reminder, if you notice if you're on the K Tribe group, there are 3 keywords you will notice on the group. I don't know, on the group. And for me, I call it our core value, right? So leadership, growth, and success, LGS. I needed to state this so we can always have it in our minds. So LGS, I'm a nomic person. That was how God helped me through vet school. So I always have that at the back of, no, let me not say at the back of my head, at the top of my hands right now, so that every time I keep reminding myself that this is why we're here. And that's why I told myself that at K Tribe, what we do is that we lead, we inspire growth, and we achieve exceptional success. Thank you very much. And right now, we'll be making welcome Dr. Kayode as he takes us on the amazing section, designing your best year yet, 2025.
Right. So the front is not just designed for me, it's designed for every one of us. So what Dr. Praise spoke about before coming, he said we lead, we inspire growth, and then we achieve exceptional success. So I'm writing that down. Looks like a very good phrase. We lead, we inspire growth, and then we achieve exceptional success. But, you know, I like what it is that we are doing, but my mind used to deceive me that I have work to do. And honestly, I do. I do. Uh, one of our businesses, I was away for 10 days, tour around almost 4 cities, and we launched one of our distribution center within those trips. And tomorrow we are starting a week-long retreat, after which uh, the veterinary council, I'm also among the veterinary council board, have continuing education across the country, and Antikano, and I'm about the one at the back end. Then after that, we have elections, so we have expansion, quite a bit for me. Uh, and I think my only saving grace is because we have very good teams. I work with really very good people, so it's easier to cope with some of these demands. But we are constantly stretching, so that's where the issue is. But each time I hear feedbacks, like you know, while Dr. Asika was talking, he said he thought that he could do something. Don't you like that? You know, when we started this series, we said you can deceive your mind into believing something you didn't know before. At my 40th birthday, my mom said that I'd hawked for her in the street of the market. So this English, you know, I did a recording for our 40th and 50th anniversary, and somebody was watching by my side. He said, "Very smooth English." See, the first sermon I preached in school, even me too was disappointed. So again, I saw people were leaving. somebody, somebody very good leading us, and you know he was able to move whatever it is that we're doing. We're probably around 50, moved it to 80, and he had to hand over to me. So I would cram, do everything I needed to do. I'll come the next Sunday to reduce. It was at 30 something. Then we now had a break. I had to run to Lagos. But I had the courage to listen to one of the recordings somebody did. And I knew that maybe this is the reason why people were not coming. The arrows were too much. People could not survive those arrows. Will you ever imagine that as a university student, I went to buy intensive English 1, intensive English 2, intensive English 3. I bought those 3. I started taking English again. See, you can be a fool at 40. It's okay. But you know, sometimes they say it's difficult to bend an old fish. Well, it could be bent anyway. It could. Well, it can break. But the way God has designed our mind is that if you decide to ronupiwada, what they call ronupiwada is repent at old age, and you be a child again, allowing your mind to be deceived with the possibility of something that can happen. At 70, you can start all over again and be everything you want to be. Sanders, when did he start KFC? Some of these people started after wasting quite a bit of their years. Because once you open your mind to what is possible, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So when Dr. Sika was saying that he thought he had a goal of 1 million, listening to the class, he stretched it to 10. I cannot at this stage set a goal of 10. Like, I cannot. So, but I acknowledge where you are. The goal I have for myself, you can imagine, I was in church today and I wrote that I want at the end of 2025, not our business, me, 2 billion, right? You can imagine Dangote setting that goal. So, but what makes our goal stretch is the possibility that it can happen. You can leave this place and build the biggest school. You can leave this place and build the biggest empire. In fact, you can be employed today and go back to your hospital, go back to your room, and say you own the largest clinic or hospital in Africa. Now, people believe that maybe one of our businesses is going to scale across Africa. How many of you believe there's one business in Africa? These things are days and years of deception until we believe that it's possible. Allow yourself to believe that you yourself, you deserve something big. Is that okay? So I'm going to be leading us into believing something bigger. I hawked. I did bus conductor. Those are all gone schools. Will I hawk again? Maybe for fun. Just so I can go, yes, now for fun. You just go to the market. Okay, I used to remember, but you know, you've lost the ability. You just, Jack Ma, they've eventually freed him. I think China is having a few issues here and there, and these things are recorded. And, you know, they are bringing him back. And one of the key things he does at the end of every year to his employees is that he dresses like a rock star, Michael Jackson. So something you could be there and then just decide to go and you can hold. Yes, it will not. I will not lose anything in me, right? You just go and sell again, right? I also like what she said that you know one of the series on finances also helped her. She could budget properly. Sometimes what you have is enough. It's just that you're not using them correctly. So if this is a mic and I'm using it to hit the wall like a hammer. If my goal is to talk to everybody, both in-house and online, is this effective? Online people can hear me. But if I change the use to hitting the wall because I want to break this wall, I'm using this mic to do it. Will it work? So sometimes what you have, and I love us listen, what you have, that head you have, the clothes you have, the brain you have, the complexion you have, the height you have could be enough, but misused. That's why you're getting poor results. So you could build from that 100,000 savings. Somebody sent me a message. He said, "What did I do with my first 1 million?" I said, "Naira or dollar? Which of them?" The person now said, "Naira." I said, "I plowed it back into the business. That 1 million, that 100,000, it's enough. But misuse becomes abuse, right? But used properly is enough seed for it to grow. Is that okay? Is that okay? Right. So thank you, everybody. And thank you for coming. Uh, Jerry told me that maybe we should not, the week is busy. And I insisted that let's hold this class, despite we know that our schedules are tight. For one simple reason. I think I know something and I'm convinced about that thing and I'm eager to share. Despite not a lot of people that he was sending messages to people personally. In fact, I almost got into trouble sending one of those messages. Okay, I sent you a message, right? The way I was sending you a message, I was sending you, right, come now, let's learn together. Come now, let's learn together. But I know that classes like these are difficult for, and I will explain. That's what I want to start with. Then we'll go back on a refresher course for what we did last week. Then I will tell us how to lay a plan. Is that okay? You will need to forgive me with my examples today. You will need to, and I want to apologize in advance. Want to apologize in advance. But I was trying to decide whether to use the example or not to use the example. So I decided, let me just develop the small courage to use the example. If say one or two persons, I'll be happy. So you need to allow me to say so. All right. We have our phones here, right? I will need 4 persons to use. 4. You have your phone. Okay. You all do. You want to volunteer 2 people, and you have the chat card to call. Stand up, just 2 persons. Right? Okay, so I have more than enough. Thank you. Okay, so I have 4. Now I need to. Okay, so let's do that. Thank you. Come to the front. And then, yes, let me use you. Look, you sit down at the other end. Yes. Auntie MC, do you mind? I need you to help me write your phone number in 3 places. Yes, 3 places. Your phone number, the one that will go. Yes, in 3 places, in different sheets. So let's play some grammar. Is that okay? Is that okay? You have card to call, right? Yes, and it's enough. Okay, 3 places. I need two more volunteers. The first person I want to volunteer is somebody you truly believe in God. You truly, truly believe in God. Stand up. Truly believe. Okay, I have more than enough. Very good. So let me use. Please bring a seat behind and sit down here. Fantastic. So just let's watch this play. People who are online. Well, thank you. Okay, please sit down. Yes, by my side. Thank you. Okay, let's ask somebody. You don't do believe. Okay, you don't do. Okay, you are not born again. There's no there's no problem. Nobody is going to lead you to Christ here except if Fed wants to do that. Sit down, please, Fed. You don't. It's somehow you know if the trumpet sound now, you you will not go. All of us will go. Or you don't want to. Okay, so again, you are just like that. Not like you know God exists, because you know it's difficult for us to ask if you know God doesn't exist. We're not yet that set of people. But you know that. Okay, you didn't go to church today. Okay, hey, bring seat. Bring a seat from the back. I wish your pastor is watching. So that he will know that there's something wrong. I bring a seat and sit down in front. Good. No, help me sit down here. So one will sit down on the right, one will sit down on the left. This is I'm the I'm the person that will judge the world. All right, good. I want to beg us to listen. To listen. I didn't plan this whole scenario. It was while I was driving here. And I kept asking. Because it's one thing to talk, it's another thing for the talk to be effective. There's a reason why you're achieving the result you're achieving. There's a reason. There's a reason why your result is not yet intercontinental. You know, out of all our series, I keep telling us that there's a wiring all of us have subconsciously. I had to pay attention to those wirings. I also still know that some of those wirings, I have them. That's why it was easier for me to write a book and say I'm still a fool at 40. Because if there's no level of foolishness, with all the admiration I have for Elon Musk, the world should know me now. Abi? Well, you know, I'm still just here. So, but if we can tweak that wiring a little bit and scale drops off our eyes, it's possible that a new us emerge. And that's why let me go back to his story. He said he didn't know you could. Did you hear that? But now he knows he could. If he gets to 10 million, you will make it 100 million. You could literally count a billion. Pardon me, and this is not demeaning. And has anybody in your lineage had 1 billion? Eh? You first of all say, you know, sometimes it's not difficult. But you could literally count not 1 billion naira, $1 billion. This thing, it's a mind game. I was listening to Miles Moreau. He said the lion is not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but he's the one who thinks he's the king of the jungle. If you leave this place and think you deserve to be governor of your state, it depends. That's okay. Children, okay. Okay, please be sure. But we want to start the example. Should we replace? Okay, let's wait for her. All right. If your mind can contain what is possible, keep stretching it. What is possible will eventually happen. Is that okay? All right. So while I was coming, I had the mind of getting us convinced that life is predictable. Subconsciously, some of us, what's distracting them? They need to come. Because if I hit on this thing, even if I don't cover the entire course, I know that we have been schooled. I was in a particular service today, and the so we all of us, religious people, we oh Kano people, we believe in the power of God, but we have inverted that in power in Africa. We have turned it upside down. And I want us to see it in the proper light today. Okay, have you written your number in 3 places? Fantastic. Thank you. Sit down, madam. So have the number. This is her number. Don't save it. She's married. Children. Right. That's it. So have the number. Madam, your phone is on and it has a ringing tone. Don't put it on silence. Put it on. Yeah. So dial the number. I'm predicting that if he dials that number, her phone will ring. Relax. Oh, why are you people laughing? Is it funny? It will ring now. I love that. I love that. I love that. See what she said? She said it will ring now. There's this depth of conviction that if he dials that number, you are not listening. I need to calm down. It's ringing. You mean this phone is ringing? You dialed the number and the phone rang. Cut it. Dial it again. Let's see if it will ring. The number again. Dial it. Let's see it will ring. You sure? Let's dial it. This thing is predictable. Oh. This time it will not ring. It's ringing. Oh. Dial that same number and it's ringing. So it means that anybody, black, white, sinners, if he dials that number, what will happen? Fantastic. Keep that in. This man is a man of God. You have power, right? Now you are going to use that power. You are going to pray that the number will not ring. You are going to destroy every power that will make him dial that number and to ring. You will have to destroy that power. Relax. God is all powerful. We believe that. I'm going to join something together because we've been deceived. I was in a service this morning, and the man, with all sincerity of his heart, said 2 things. And I believe the first one. I doubted the second one. He said, forgive. We should forgive for our peace of mind. He said, as we're going into 2025, we should forgive everybody. I want to too, but there are some people, very difficult to forgive. We should forgive. I believe that. I wrote that down. Then he now said the second thing. He said, don't plan your life in 2025. That God will intervene and make things you didn't plan for happen. In as much as they are sincere word, those are the things that has destroyed Africa. Like, we were over 2,000 persons listening to a respected person. And he was given under the unction of God, which I respect. And we all said amen. The only problem with that is that you will always be poor. A phone that requires God to start will not sell. You didn't hear that. If they say it is God that starts this phone, will you buy it? Will you buy it? So that's why I said I believe in God, and I'll tell you where it comes to play, because we are using God's power like it's magic. Majority of us think life is not predictable. That's why we don't plan. See, you can say you believe that life is predictable, but I know majority of us don't believe it is predictable. If you know that if he dials this phone, dials the number, it will ring. It means that if I get the code for $1 billion, okay. You didn't hear that. He said it will work now, it will ring now. So why was I was surprised that it rang. Because a lot of life is predictable. Any society that thinks life is not predictable will always be a small society. So it is possible you go into 2025 well planned. Don't believe anything that tells you that God will intervene. God intervenes, but sometimes he breathes on our plan. So he's the man of God. You will have to destroy everything that makes that phone ring. Are you sad? Let's just try it. Let's just try. Just pray that the phone will not ring. But hope you know that some of us subconsciously believe that if he prays, it will not ring. Or he will forget. Don't believe that. Whether he forgets to drive or not, bulk of life is predictable. Bulk of life. Bulk of life is predictable. We killed a cow yesterday. I went with my wife. And then while they were doing everything, they brought another ram to kill. And I said, if they use that knife on that ram, the ram will die. The ram died. Like, the ram died. I told her 2 lessons. I cannot say the second one. I said the reason why that ram died is because the person who killed it is more powerful. Don't be too humble not to seek power. You'll be killed. You'll be killed. I am not power hungry. See, I've been with this book for almost 3 months. The Act of War. Next year, it's been my Very good book. Now, I can be cute. Business is now requires that I understand that there are enemies that don't want you to succeed. I will not forbid it. I will plan for it. Right. So this our man of God, he has not prayed yet. I'm really after him praying. Do we have 2 mics? So hold the phone. Thunder is about to strike. And you will forget to call. Or network will disappear. Something bad is about to happen because a man of God is about to pray. Go ahead. No, I don't want you to think. I know you have understanding, but have faith that whatever you ask, you will receive. So if he prays, no, just pray. Let's just explain. Because I don't want us to assume. Just pray that the line will not connect. And this man did not go to church. This man did not go to church. So let's say we will see which power will work. Well, so pray that the phone will not ring.
Okay,
Though
but
we are
like you said, I
acting,
have understanding. right?
we are acting. We are
You
acting.
All right.
We are fighting
All right, so
with
let's
the thought.
let's
Uh-huh,
yes.
let's
Okay, I'm in between.
Sing
thoughts,
first.
actually.
Sing first.
No, there's no need to sing. All right, phone do not connect. That
All right, good. He has destroyed every power that will make this phone connect. But you bought it with your phone. We are dialing it. It will not connect. It will not ring. Everybody close your eyes. It will not ring. It's ringing, oh. The thing is ringing, oh. This prayer is not working. I love you to believe me. This is what I stumbled on that make me work hard. There's a reason why you're not working hard. You don't believe that life is predictable. That's why. That's why. That's why. There's a reason why I work hard. So look at it this way. So what will you prefer? And I want us to be honest, like really honest. If the number that makes this phone ring is available, the third one. So you have one. Let's give you one. So 3 people have the number. If you understand this thing I'm saying, a lot will change. 3 people now have this number. Let's now say that if you find the number and you have a phone to dial the number, you will earn $1 billion. Now, majority of us, let's say he is to find that number. His own goal is also to find that number. What we do most often is that we sit, we believe, and we pray. Another option will be to, for desire to find the number, thank God that that number even exists. To believe that God will guide you to finding that number. But more importantly, to keep searching for the number. Dr. Praise, do you have the number? No. You don't get discouraged. Dr. Chizaram, do you have the number? You don't get discouraged. Dr. Iben, do you have the number? You don't get discouraged. Annette, you have the number. Don't forget, I have thanked God, I have prayed, but I'm searching. There's a reason why we search in books. There is a reason why we ask questions. I was listening to somebody's YouTube yesterday. The okay, okay, it's a lady, young lady, worth $2.5 billion. She said she had failed 22 times. God will not forgive you if you pray and sit down. Because you know when you find the number and you dial it, the phone will ring. Abby. So you keep asking, do you have the number? Tear the paper into two. Oh, fantastic. You've torn the paper into two. No, so I found a part of it. And the only thing I could see is 07030. I could not see the rest. But it's looking like the number, but it's not complete. So I keep finding. Right. I keep searching. This thing can take 1 year, can take 2 years, can take 3 years, but you keep finding. Do you have the number? I find the complete number. I dial it. Will the phone ring? I want to beg you all. I want to beg. I can need beg you people. I hardly beg. Life is predictable. Any pastor, any imam who tells you that it's miraculous, that's the people keeping Africa poor. And you see, this is a bold statement. It's because I know what it is I'm saying. You will pick a flight. Dr. Nancy just came from Port Harcourt. She flew. They will tell you you will land 6:30. Try it every now and then. They will land 6:30. They will, when my family was staying in Lagos, the best flight I take is night flight. I've gotten into Lagos 1 a.m. The cloud is dark. You don't need to pray. The numbers are predictable. Once they set that their compass and they calculate the numbers, don't even forget, they fly. The only time they are so much in their control is when they are taking off and when they are coming down. Most part of the flight is on autopilot. Like they will leave the steering. I flew with somebody, police chopper. I was lucky enough to sit very close to the person because you will not go into the cabin. I have to fly a plane in this my life. I have to. Very close. So I was watching. We were flying chopper. We're high. Was talking this thing. So when I came down, I said, I watched you all through. You were really not like this hard work wasn't there. When we got to where we're going, we made our way. So he now said that was the that was given to him. That he has gotten to that coordinate. So they had to call somebody from a center to reissue the coordinate. The moment you got the coordinate, we got the look. So what did he do? Just the phone number. He puts the coordinate wherever it is. And we took off with only one belief that we have the right coordinate. Because life is predictable. Your 2025, if you find the coordinate, can be what it is that you have planned. You lay your plans, God blesses it, but to think that it will happen without you. See, check even everybody who believes in God who have succeeded. They don't believe the way you have believed. If they have the result, ask them what it is that they are doing. So I said on my status, I said end of year Thanksgiving is good. End of year planning. They need to, as we're thanking God, we need to all have the culture to plan. It's not a culture that we're so used to. Why don't you draw up
your planning. And planning will not happen randomly. It has to be you alone. So you will not get better at it in one sitting. I've been planning for almost 15 years now. So now I know, maybe as good as others that have succeeded beyond me, but averagely better than most people. So whatever it is we say today, take it seriously. In the morning, in the evening, in the morning was the first day. In the evening, in the morning was the first day. There were specific things that were done within those days. Because what? And I say this again, God who created us and gave us a brain will lose the purpose of his creation if he gives to us in prayer what we can get through strength. And hope you know, people who are really there, ah, they think, they plan. A crazy Elon Musk is now wanting to fly us to Mars. Life is what? Predictable. If you like, believe the miraculous. I do. But I also understand that life is what? Predictable. Is that okay? We didn't test him. He didn't go to church. If the trumpet sound now, he might not. You will need to talk to him after the service, right? But I wanted him to predict that if he dials the number, it will ring. Will it ring? So you believe somebody who didn't go to church more? Inherent power on earth that just needs your alignment. Is that okay? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, these are not conventional talks, right? Are they conventional talks? Maybe not. But do you believe me? Strategize and plan. So let's start with what we said last week. How much time do I have? Okay, so I have another. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in 30 minutes, but let's do. I have to. Are we ready? Good. I'm going to share the slide on our group once I'm done so that we can all see it. So you can argue with me. I know, because sometimes some people just argue. And it's fine. And I'll give you the benefit of doubt because I know you've had 20, 25 years of what happened you to this stage. So it's understandable. But if you have some time to reflect, then you should think about this. We started last week by saying the more reflective you are, the more effective you will be. Right? So the key question is, let me pick another person's example. Please come. All right, you can stand by me. Thank you. Okay, let's assume is this water cold or hot? It's cold. It's cold. The water is cold. If he needs hot water, being convinced that this water is cold, Or let's assume he tried, he wants to make pap. And the first experience in using cold water is that the pap, if you use cold water on pap, will it solidify? But this is all he has. And he did all through 2024 using cold water to make pap. And he wanted something solid. And he's about to enter into he did all in 2024. He's about to enter into 2025. But don't forget, he still has two resources. He has cold water, he has Ogi, pap. It is the power of reflection that will make him understand his needs. I'd like you to pay attention. What people do most often is that they know their resources. They just believe that somehow it will still work. So they're going into 2025. They know that it's cold water they have, is Ogi, that is in their cupboard. But there's already an handkerchief that has been prayed upon. Right. So then you use this cold water to make Ogi. But if he were a reflective person, he must have understood, and that's where study comes in, that for it to work, this water needs to be hot and boiled. So as he's going into 2025, he knew that the reason why it didn't work in 2024 is because the water wasn't hot. So the energy for 2025 is, who has a boiling machine? Direction is easy with insight. Insight can only be gotten from moments of reflection. Direction is easy with insight. Insight. You will need to, again, this class is just begging. I don't know why I'm begging. Have 1 day, 2 days where you stay alone and compare how 2024 went. But more importantly, you will need to have the courage to ask yourself, why didn't it work? And now we got this quote, and not like I read it somewhere. It's from experience. Our mind can produce what? Answers. If we give it what? Questions. So why didn't it work? So why wasn't I able to raise the money? Don't be mentally lazy. Don't be. I tried. I didn't catch any fish, but the fish were at the other end. It was the insight he got that gave him a change of direction using the same resources. You don't need to change your clothes. You don't need to buy new clothes. You just need a fresh use, a fresh insight into the use of the resources you currently have. Thank you. You can quite see that. You need insight. Insight can only come. You cannot be too busy away from yourself. Abby, who is going into 2025 from 2024? Who is going into it? It is you now. Abby, you will suddenly from 12 and you will still see the craze. Oh, Doc, please come in. You still see the craze in 2020. Like People, I said that on the online last week. By the time it is 11:30, December 31st, 11:30 p.m., people will be leaving beer parlors. I don't know whether it still happens. I mean, it happens. People will be leaving beer parlors and say, "No, this new year must meet me in the house of God." And that was when we came up with the code that what it is preparation that matters, not resolution. It is you. I can bet you the way this thing is predictable, it is same you that is entering into 2025. Abi? Or you don't believe? Do you believe that it is you? It is you who made mistake. It is you whose things didn't work in his hands. It is you who didn't achieve your goal. It is you who slept all through. It is you. The same mind, the same body. You can change clothes, but you cannot change yourself. It is you. So, oh, fantastic. It is moments of reflection that transformation happens. Like I wake up every morning, I told us last week, and I asked, what stupid thing am I doing now that will stop me? You know, we're having a retreat, and I'm taking 3 classes, or 3 or 4 classes, and I'm talking about leadership. Let me in the title of this leadership class. The first class is leading yourself. The second class is leading others. The third class is leading others to lead others. Did you hear that? First of all, leadership starts from you leading yourself. If you don't succeed at that level, don't think you can lead others. I see very stupid people, very stupid and dumb people. They give authority. They expect to be respected when they are leading themselves forward. So there's a level you lead yourself. There's a level you lead others. At the stage I'm in now, it will be dumb for me to not attack. I'm going to live not to be seen. I'm going to leave the whole of next year for people like Dr. Nancy to be seen. It's a show next year. I am the one at the back end saying, hey, doc, go, you can get it through. I've hired a consultant for you, Pico. We are going to pay the consultant monthly. It is our time to shine because I have insight that I will be stupid. You know, we were sending her to Port Harcourt. She's here. I say, doc, you cannot do whatever it is that you want to do and make people need me. I say, you must have failed in this assignment if people have to call me to get things done. It is insight that I have, that I know things can crash in my hands if I don't develop the attitude leading others to lead others. I am no longer in stage 1. I still, because when you've built a habit for one stage, you cannot undo that habit again. Once one mind has stretched to a new level, it cannot come back to the original stage. So by default, I lead myself with all the habits I've built. Then I go to a stage where I was leading the Dr. Nancy, I was leading this. Now, if we continue at that level, we cannot scale. So I needed to know that has changed, that I need to now lead people who will lead others. So what happens? How did I come to this point? Because what people do when they don't have time to reflect about their year is that they keep hitting the wall. They keep hitting the wall. They keep hitting the wall. See, 8 that we are going to be awarding tomorrow has worked with us. In fact, we told 2 of them were currently working with us. I'm not dumb to know that vet leaves. Abi, will somebody work with you forever? something very striking happened. Something very striking. And you know, the person sent me a message this morning. The person has worked for a company for 15 years, being one of the strongest person who led the growth of that company. And the person said, I'm dropping the resignation. You know, when the person said that, I quickly introspect. I said, one day, you know, she's does not have to do drop her resignation. Or maybe we'll do it together. We could be lucky. I used to pray that we'll do it together. Like I used to pray. I used to pray for my heart of heart that we'll do it together. But you know, Act of War has also told me, if your strategy isn't complete until you plan the worst. It's not complete. So, but those insight on direction comes from the moment of just reflecting, paying attention, what worked, what didn't work. Don't forget, I said, it is you that's entering into 2025. You cannot effectively use 2025 until you have effectively understood 2024. I said you should sit down on your own, spend 2 days. How many days did you have in the 2024 now? How many days? Will it be so much difficult to get out 2 days and go to the wilderness? Go anywhere where people are. Just a plain sheet of paper. Don't go with your phone. Just a plain sheet of paper and a biro. And tax this your mind that God built. It's like God built a Boeing 747 engine. And you're allowing it to rust. I say go with a pain. Don't be afraid to confront failure. If you fail, they didn't say that you will always fail. I mean, some of us fail. 5-6 years, I was paying debt 17 million. 3 months, didn't see my family. My wife saw me after 3 months. He said, Ife, she calls me Ife. Is this you? 6 months, my phone was off. On how much? 17 million. It was one day I was now, and I said, I've told us the story. How much is Dangote own? I just flipped. I was staying in, a man housed me in a hotel in Kaduna. I told him my problem. He housed me. So there's this old TV. I turned on old TV. And then for some reason I saw Dangote. An idea just came. Google how much is Dangote own. I got Access Bank, 300 and something million. Fidelity Bank, 400 and something million. And they are still interviewing you. How much am I? How much am I owing? 17. I've killed my family. I've killed myself. Lost reputation. Turned on my phone. On 17. Turned on my phone. Went back to my family. Unfortunately for those people, their calls started coming. Yeah. I now had the courage. I saw Dangote being interviewed. It is dead. Yes. Tell me you are very stupid. You are very stupid. You're very stupid. I wait. You know, I've entered Odeshi mode. I've entered Odeshi mode. You're very stupid. You're very stupid. It will not be well with you, and they will be abusing you. So where are you now? When are you going to pay? I said, sir, you know that my phone is now on. It means there's hope, right? The money is not available. When it's available, you pay. Like initially, phone will ring, my mind will cut. So high blood pressure was almost stable. I started picking their call. 2, 3 years, 4 years. Some small money came. I went with my wife. I said, so how much am I owing? I started settling the debts. You know, the same place we failed, we went back and we built something way, way bigger. Reflection can change you fundamentally. It's just for you to know what is wrong. How old are you, please? 25. There's no mistake that can kill you at 25. Are you not planning to live 80, 100 years? Let's even say, okay, how old do you want to live? 120, all the best. All the best. Let's say he wants to live 120. He's still 25. How many years does he have to live? 95. There's no mistake that can kill you now, except if you commit suicide. You know, somebody said people don't die, people commit suicide. It's you that needs to kill yourself. You will literally change staying with yourself and just asking yourself, so why didn't it work? Is it the way I'm talking? Is it that the people I'm staying with are not encouraging? You know, it's moment of reflection. You know that you have a bad circle. I was joking with Dr. Nancy. Was it? I can't remember. I said, maybe New Year myself. Because, you know, some people, I get a lot of messages, like loads of messages. Some people, because you know them, you have to open their message. But that thing, if you are not emotionally like bang, bang, it will just drain you. Your battery is 100. you just read some messages, you don't go, 35. How many of you sometimes read messages that you don't? Now, those messages are important. They will always be in your life. What you cannot lose, you know what you cannot lose? Recharging. And moments of recharging is moments where you are alone, asking yourself critical questions. Don't allow this year pass if you have not reflected. You know the good thing, once you have reflected and you have new insight, a new you emerges. You will use you better. Abi, you will use you better. How many of us are going to have retreat? You know, and I love some people's honesty. I didn't know that the concept of retreat, it's not like a very common concept. I didn't know. How many of us do retreats? You just pull back so that you can propel forward. So one of the business is doing one whole week, pulling back. We did it last year. We're doing it this year. This year, maybe a lot more extended. But you pull back and ask, are we leading you correctly? In that retreat, I'm going to ask people, what is it I'm doing that you cannot tell me physically? But you can tell others. I will ask people to open up. I will put all the leaders in front. Who is annoying you more? Who is leading you better? Who is causing you pain? Who is making you cry? Because you cannot build on shallow insight. You will need to know now to correct it. Abi, can you correct something you don't know? We need to run. We need to run. Right. So I said New Year's meet, number one, whatever will be, will be. I said that's false, right? You can change that. Que sera, sera is no longer sera, sera. And you know the song is nice. I like the song. You know the song? When I was just a little boy, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? And what he says to me, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not our song. Eh? It's subconsciously telling us that what will be. You cannot accept that, right? We have power to plan and execute. The second myth is emergency. Uncle Jerry gave me a message. I told him this meeting. I told him of this meeting like 3 or 4 days ago. 2 hours to the meeting. He now put 2 red. He said urgent. Urgent. So I quickly, I'm already prepared for next year. I said, this urgent will die this year. It has to die this year. Urgent 2K will die this year. Microsoft says Microsoft is always 2 years ahead of failure. You will need to plan. The third myth, resolution versus preparation. We said last week that it is your preparation that is more powerful, not your what? Not your resolution. I will prepare. My time will come. I will. So let me rush through this slide. And for some reason, I like this slide. Sam, he said, so teach us to number our days that we may apply our wisdom. I know we stayed on this for a long time last week. Is that correct? I said, life is a numbers game. Those who don't know it speak what? English. Did you hear that? Life is a numbers what? Game. Dr. Janet, is there a number to your heartbeat? Is there a number that it will get? It will be abnormal. You have. Is there a way of saying 2 with English without calling numbers? Adults know how many it is. Fantastic. How many fingers do you have? 10. Is that a number? Even the hair on your hair is what? It's us that don't know. But the number of red blood cells that an average healthy human should have a big number. If you build skill in learning how to make numbers intelligence, you will be successful. I can bet my life. See, numbers needs to turn. Those who are studying data analysis. There's a reason why AI will cause a lot of progress. It's because the understanding of numbers is now swifter. You hear that? So let's say all this stage is full of numbers. So for you as humans, it will take you time to learn all the numbers. More importantly, it will take you time to understand the numbers. And there's a combination of these numbers that will make you successful. What AI is doing is to shorten that time. See, I want to plead with you. What you need to understand for 2025 to be more effective is to know your numbers. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. How many days is in 2025? How many days? 365. Will anything happen that will make it 400 next year? Will anything happen that will make 2025 to be 400 days? How many months is in 2025? 12. Will anything happen that will make it 7? Except if rapture comes, right? They will just say end of the world. So, first is to know your numbers. Second is to understand the numbers, right? So I said life is a numbers game. Can you say this after me? Life is a numbers game. Then I said, don't assume you know. You need to be taught. Don't assume. You need to be taught. Poverty, it's not lack of money, it's lack of understanding. So he said, teach us to what? To number. So that was a prayer. It means that life is a numbers game, but you also need to be what? Taught. Then I said the goal of learning is not what? It's not knowledge. What is it? See, it is the application of knowledge, the wise application or the efficient application of knowledge that makes it wisdom. I like this. Who's an engineer here? There's a lot of vets here. This fan, is there a voltage that makes it turn? Is there a number to the voltage that makes it turn? If you multiply that voltage by 10, will this fan blow? Eh? I don't know. Me too, I don't know. Eh? It will burn the coil. Me, I don't know. But I just know that they used to say something is ampere, something is what? Volt. So if you check this fan, I know you will find, you even know the formula. Correct, woman. So, oh, fantastic. So this fan is useful because there's a numbers that has been effectively used to make it what? Useful. Is that correct? If you switch the number, there are two things. Make it higher or make it lesser. It's possible that it doesn't even turn or it turns slowly. Usually when, these days there's usually no low current. I mean, is there still low current? Then in those days in Kaduna, they will bring something like that looks like a lantern. And then the fan, instead of it to roll, low current is English. The maths behind is that the power coming in, the number is not sufficient. It's not sufficient. So if you know your numbers, first of all, if you know that life is a numbers game, you know those numbers, the correct use of those numbers is what gives birth to what? Intelligence. He says, so that we may apply our heart to wisdom. Then I said, action, good or bad, successful or unsuccessful, gives birth to wisdom only from somebody who has prioritized learning. That was where we stopped last week. So now, we'll need to bring out a sheet of paper, right? Do we all have a sheet of paper? Do we have a sheet of paper? So we will do 2 exercises, then I will ask for questions. And I will share, no, I have 3 success principles, but I will rush it. So let's do 2 exercises. You will need 2 sheets of paper. And we will not finish this exercise in this class. We cannot finish this exercise in this class. But it is now your job to go back home and do the assignment. Abi, you have to do the assignment. So what's the assignment? Simple. Now plan for 20 years first. So you just close your eyes. Where do you see yourself be in 20 years?
I will be in the beach, private island, chilling, receiving international call, flying my private jet to go and hold meeting. Then we'll go and visit my first daughter. This week is for you. Next week, there's grandchild. Hope you know God gave us imagination. We don't use imaginations, but it exists. And imagination brings out the same reaction with reality. I tell you. I was at the airport. I think I was in Lagos. I was flying to Abuja, 7 a.m. My wife called me. My mother-in-law sick. And she said, Mommy is dead. And I broke down on that stage. I was there. I just went completely down. And I really didn't know that I was attached to her that much. I started sobbing. And I was already presenting my card. Did I see the dead body? I heard something. My imagination went wild and my body broke down. You like a lady, and then you're imagining she's half naked. Will your body stand? Will it stand? Or you don't know? Okay, how many of us have imagined and then your body is already strong? I mean, it doesn't used to happen to you. It used to happen to me. Okay, except if you want to confess. So, you are not with the lady physically, and your body is rising. Why? For your imagination. See, if you close your eyes and imagine yourself in a private island, flying, you start rehearsing until you start smiling. Have you imagined to the point where your body catches up with that imagination? I've done it. I've done it countless number of times. It will be difficult for me not to be a billionaire in dollars. I have used 10 years to rehearse. Now, if it's so if it happens, I will not be too happy like this. I've enjoyed all the happiness. I've enjoyed all the happiness. I've enjoyed all the happiness. I've smiled, I've danced. I've enjoyed all the, if it lands like this, I will sleep well. You go back home and close your eyes. Will you be the biggest school in Abuja in 20 years? The building is yours. There's some imagination you have. Goose pimples will start coming. See, I was imagining for her. See goose pimples. See, did you see goose pimples? I use imagination like water. If you ask me what's my strength is in my mind. I was just imagining for her and I wanted to feel it. And honestly, as I closed my eyes, I saw a big building. Nothing, see, let me enter anointing. Nothing can be restrained from them. That in which what? They have imagined to do. There's a reason why I cannot be proud again. I've enjoyed being the ovation that people are clapping for me. I enjoyed it like almost 5, 6, 7 years ago. And after enjoying it, I learned another habit that you don't need to pay attention to it. So if it happens, I will not blush. Well, maybe a few things here and there makes the body so, right? So go back home today. You will not
pay for it. It's already been paid for by the God who gave you a brain. You're a data scientist. There's one lousy guy on LinkedIn, very smart, lousy guy. He will start his story. Actually, he's dreaming. So I'd already followed him. He said his phone rang. To his amazement, it was Elon Musk. I said, Elon Musk call. Elon Musk call. So, you mean, so it's a young guy and doing robotics. I can share the link on the group. I just followed him. At the end, he now woke up. I said, oh no, oh no, this guy. Go and check how many followers he has. He's in hundreds of thousands. So I think the last time I checked, it was over 120,000 followers. I'm still struggling with now. And guess what? It was his imagination he puts in words. At the end of the day, he even tagged Elon Musk in. At the end of the day, nobody can accuse him. He said he woke up and he saw that it was a dream after a long, engaging write-up. The God who created you, Abi, did he forget to put brain? If you can see me and you can understand, you have a brain. Importantly, you have imagination. Use it. Close your eyes. 20 years. You will not believe it at first. I said, this thing, I've done it for 15 years. I'm a pro in imagination. You know, we had some turmoil in business for almost 6 months or so. It was going to look like we're going to collapse. You know what sustained it? I passed through that thing mentally. I finished it one time. I put some on my status. And my wife said, I will not be coming down now. I said 2025 to 2026. I listed the African countries that would. He said I should come down. I said, this thing 2 years ago, I've settled it. It cannot be stopped again. Once your imagination has accepted it, your body has risen up to it. Say it out. Nobody can kill it. You did not hear me. Enemy cannot kill it. Joseph, and peace, if you allow me, go Bible. He saw 11 stars bowing down to him. Is that correct? It has not yet happened. They thought they could kill. His imagination has gone way far. See, people who try to kill imagination, you know, if you want to spiritualize it, you say it's God talking to you. That's how unbelievers can succeed, because God also gave them imagination. He said nothing can be restrained from them. He said, even me, I cannot stop them, so I have to scatter them. You are not using your imagination enough. See, I used to look at plane, see it take off, go down. One day I said, I've not gotten this thing enough. My boss then was going to the airport. I said, let me follow him. I followed him. He said, Femi, why are you following that? No, that is. I said, no, I want to follow you. Then it was in the journey. He left. I stood in that place more than 1 hour. I imagined myself carrying my own bag, bouncing inside the plane, sitting inside the plane, putting my spec, I'm flying. The first time I came into Abuja, I was in ABU then. Came into Abuja. I went to a hotel lobby. See, I'm going to build something as beautiful as Transcorp, if not more, right? Years ago, I've sat down inside that place. So a part of me of real estate will come out in another 5 years, right? I sat down in that place. I can recreate something better than Transcorp in my imagination. It's me that's telling myself to calm down. Do this one first. Calm down. Do this one first. If your imagination picks it and your body responds to it, your life will produce it. See, I used to sit down. I used to say, the president of this country will call me one day. I'll just be. See. So use it if you have it. How many of us have imaginations? Right? So you can use it. I need to run. So the first goal is to plan 20 years. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you see? And if your imagination is not picking it, expose your mind to it. These days now, what's on my board is just writing. The stage of trying to put pictures, I've outgrown that stage. I don't need picture again to tell me. It is Jerry that will tell you in Lokoja, then you see pictures. I've outgrown that stage. I have a machine now that naturally produces the pictures. And if I imagine it now, goosebumps don't come up. What happens when I imagine? Yeah, okay, time. Okay. It's not time. But years ago, I would do it until goosebumps start coming up. See yourself wear suit. If it's suit you want to wear. See yourself in FAO. Put the logo. Put your name. So somebody came, okay, and this is a disclaimer. If you go to my office, you will see Forbes, right? People believe that I was in Forbes. In fact, the guy was calling his dad, that you cannot imagine. I'm with Dr. Femi, somebody who graced Forbes. Because Forbes. Are you disappointed? When I started putting, that was the only one I got here. When I started doing that thing, I created more than 5 Forbes pages. I can successfully even remove that thing. In fact, I've out Forbes. That thing I put from Lagos, that's 2 years ago. I've grown Forbes. It is free, you can use it. Is that correct? How many of us will do it? So it will take you 1 month, 2 months, but you need to do it. So once you imagine, write it down. What do you see yourself being? How do you see yourself? Write a goal for the next 2 years about yourself, about your work, about your community. So I'm from Kogi State, and you people will see it. We will turn Kogi into Silicon Valley. Who's from Kogi State here? Thank you very much. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon. And it will happen. We will pour money, we will buy an entire community. We invite the brightest mind across the country. Food, you don't need to worry about food. There's no rules. You just wake up and think and do. Kogi will soon be at the map of the world for innovation. That's what I'm going to retire into. I'm still going to give back. Don't tell my wife, because I hope she stopped watching. But this time around, the children will not go to school. I have to fulfill that dream. I will wake up telling them on a day-to-day basis that they are special. God made their mind superhuman. I will tell them all the rock they see, they can use their head to break it. Right. So write it down. Write it down. When you write it down, then now come back to 2025. Now come back to 2025. I want to plead with us. Don't do 7 goals. Don't do 10 goals. Maximum of 3 goals. And I'm telling you from experience. Going into 2025, I only have 3 goals. 3. You cannot do everything. People, it's like Jaguar. Jaguar now, we don't watch Jaguar. There was one film of Jaguar that stuck to my mind. He didn't eat in the morning for how many days? When he now saw food, he now combined morning, afternoon, evening for all the days and wants to eat it. It will not be discouraged. You've wasted 20, 25 years. It's wasted already. You cannot use that anger into 2025. You will not solve all your family problem. For 5 years, I didn't put my family among my goal. Did you hear that? The first time I put them in my goal was this year. And I said, I will not end this year without buying them their own property. I've bought it. They are living in it now. They wake up every morning praying for me. 5, 6 years, I didn't carry my family along. Your life needs to be carried first. Now, you will think I'm wicked. Go and jump pack all the goal and see if you will achieve it. Look, this year you will build for your family. You will build for your fiancé. You will build for yourself. You will build for your business. You will build for your community. For something that you know how to build, you have built in 24 now. Abi? That's why people get frustrated. They jump back too many goals in 1 year. Can you just focus on one? Or maximum 3. Your family will still be alive. They will not die. I tell you, the way you think you will be alive, that's how they are thinking they will be alive. Abi, which family member is wishing he's dead? Now you can, it's all, don't let me suggest to you. It's what you want. It's you that will write it. But don't forget, anything you write, you have also accepted responsibility for it. Good thing is that if you make it small and concise and focus, achieve it, it will give you the energy for another year. Abi, is there no 2026 in your calendar? Some of you have diary, there's 2026, there's 2027. Why do you want to do everything in 2025? Don't be like Jaguar. Combine all the food you need to eat, my family, my fiancé, my marriage, my school, my PhD, everything in 1 year. Do me a favor. Pick maximum of 3 goals. Maximum. 3 goals. Wake up every morning seeing those goals. And that's what you need to. And you need to write it down. Will you? If any one of you writes it down, you can share it with me privately. I'll be happy. So your goals could be personal, could be professional, could be life in general. You know, I said, calm down. I've and this I should not say publicly, but it's fine. So I've registered 7 companies. I've registered a mining company. I've registered a real estate company. 7 companies. I've registered a foundation. I've registered a school that we will build in Lokoja. No exam, no jam. I've registered, I have the CAC document. Next year, I've collapsed everything and I am doing 0 out of everyone of them. There are no projects for next year. I attempted doing it when I'm 40 to start something. And I realized that once I spread too thick, I will not be able to go very deep. There's only one business on my mind for 2025. I'm going to wake up every day, every seconds, every milliseconds thinking of that one business. Just one. Just one. Your life becomes more impactful with focus. I will not wake up any day in 2025 thinking of mining. despite we have the sight. I will not wake up. See, it's written in 7,000 shelters a year. I'm not want to. I will build. See, my kind of real estate I want to do. Most people spend their lifetime paying rent. At the end of the day, they don't own anything. You will pay me in 20 years. I will build 7,000 homes. You will stay and be paying rent. After 20 years, it's your own. You will like it, right? You will not like it. I'm just joking. I have the model. I have the plan, but it's abandoned. If I put it in 2025, the one business I want to focus on, I will not go deeper in it. Don't complicate 2025. So you need to write down. If you love to share with me, I'll be glad. And I can guide you. I can guide you. Is that correct? Is that okay, rather? I can guide you. So write down your goal for 2025. Don't forget the first thing is to imagine your life in 20 years and write down what your imagination can carry. It can improve over time, but you can write it down. Your goal in 2025, what's it? Ensure that it's not, ensure that it is a maximum of how many? 3. If you want to add your family, it's fine. That's okay. It's all your choice. Then let me state 3 things, then we'll end. And I'll be very. So I wrote guidelines for success. The first is be clear. Be clear. You don't want to go into 2025 being confused. One of the reasons why people even get confused is because they have too many goals. They have 7, some 11. How many of you have written New Year resolution and it fools like one foolscap sheet? You have written that kind of thing. They are dumb. They are dumb. At the end of the day, you will not even be able to trace anything. And I'm telling you I've done all those things. It just didn't work. My life started taking good shape when I became focused. Is that okay? So every day you wake up in 2025, knowing that life is a numbers game, so you have a clinic, sir. So everything will fall in place, your family will fall in place if that clinic becomes extremely very successful. If your revenue for the clinic is averagely this year is, let's say, 10 million per month, just even have one goal that it will be 100 million per month next year and focus on that alone. See, your family will be fine, you'll be happier, but more importantly, what you will learn is your reputation for doing more will increase. Everything will follow you. So be clear. The next thing is be there. Like, stay there. We learned something in this K-Tribe movement from Ololade. He said, where you're going is not far. What is the problem? You're branching too many places. You're going to go and see this door. And then you say, hey, Auntie Amina, well done. Hey, who shit inside pole yesterday? The thing is smelling, okay. Then you go, listen, you're on the camera. This camera is fine, is it the latest? But where you're talking too much. You're saying too many things that doesn't really matter. So if you're clear, you have to be there. If your goals are clear, wake up every morning on that same tax. I will wake up every day of 2025 in one single tax. How do we move our revenue to this every month? And how do I support people to deliver on that result? That's it. No plan for family. Like, they will shall eat. And they will eat. Know that we are going to on any island. Well, maybe vacation, whatever. But I cannot plan that. I cannot listen. Things can fall in place, but you have to be ultra focused on your core vision. The last thing, and that's where we end, beware. Right? Beware of people. Beware of friendship that is not taking you anywhere. 2025 is not the time to keep unfruitful relationships. Birds of the same feather, what? Flock together. If you have decided that your goal is not of the same feather, Will you flock together? Ó ní èèyàn tó bá bájá rìn, ó máa kí ni? Ó máa jẹ́gbẹ́. Interpret, please. Who said it? Mm. What does it mean? if if somebody follows a dog, you will eat shit. Shit. So be clear. I said be clear. What's the second one? The third one? Beware. I wish all of us success in 2025. I'm hopeful. Like, I'm hopeful. I'm really very hopeful. I want to close 2025 and look back. You see, for 2024, of all our goals, 70% of it, we got there. We got there. The business we said we're going to focus on should extend beyond Nigeria by the end of 2025. We should have the name of the business in another country. That would be nice, right? So, my biggest prayer is that your goal will succeed. Is that okay? Right, so let's take question 2. Is already short time. So let's just take 2 random questions, then I give up the stage. How many of us learned anything today? Did you learn? Good. Okay, so we have one. So we have another one. So that's a good. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm really, really grateful and I'm thankful for knowing you. Yeah, it's not really a question, it's a take home for me. You mentioned something about having too many goals. It's just like you're talking about me. I realize somehow that has been dragging me back. I could do a lot of things. I do a lot of things. And now I see that's where the problem is. If I know this is what I'm good in, I should focus on that and avoid any distraction. And I think I'm adding that to my goal. So thank you so much, sir. And also, this is a question. The word retreat. When I joined the virtual meeting, that's training, the previous time, that really struck my heart. And I really want to do it, but I don't know how. And I really like a guideline. Imagination too, I'm not good at imagining things, but I don't know. I even discussed it with my husband, how do people imagine things? So I need to be honest.
Yes.
I'm not good at, and I think these are the things weighing me down.
Exactly.
I'm not, when you're telling me, you're explaining this, I can't see it until it's reality. So I don't know how I can work on that.
I'm happy
Thank
with
you,
this
sir.
question. I'm happy. Reality is most people's undoing. Uncle Jerry, allow me to mention your name, but you know, I like to stop mentioning his name. When we had 6 months, almost 6 month crisis, you could literally look at my eyes and know that things are not okay. And then he came to give me a very powerful advice. The only issue with the advice is that it will make me acknowledge my reality while lived off my imagination. So I told him, if he's going to come and tell me the same advice, he should not come again. Imagination will pull you out of every trouble. I watched a Nigerian film long time ago. They were about to kill the man. And there's a way Nigerian movie coins it. The person sees beyond. So the person now said, today, today, tomorrow no more. Today, today, tomorrow no more. If I die today, I will die no more. There's a way imagination pulls you out of today's pain. People will see it, will pity you, but you don't have any of those as baggage. If there's nothing you pick out from today's class, is to grow your imagination muscle. So use picture, use whatever it is, and grow that muscle. I'm expert in it. Like, I'm expert in imaginations. And I think that's what has gotten me here. In terms of retreat, it's not as complicated as we think. If you have small team that you're working with, just call them and say, okay, well, today, nothing. I just want to ask you a question. What do you think about me? Am I leading you correctly? Is there something that we can do better? It's retreat. It's reflection. Abby? Is there something I can do? If you have the courage, you can ask your spouse. You will not sleep that night. All the problems that you refuse to listen to, it will come out that night. Then you say, who send you message? It's easy with co-workers. Then when you are really emotionally sad, then you can ask, okay, how did I offend you? Because you will not sleep well. That's just a joke anyway. But retreat is simple. Back. Even say, who are my friends? Check your phone. If it's personal retreat, who called you? Yes, something I see around. It's like Spotify started telling people who you listen to. I saw one on one of my good friends' page. Spotify even knew how many. So how do I use Spotify too? How do I try to check? Oh, I'll show you, please, so that you can tell me. But so just imagine technology, how many minutes you have spent. If it is, there's one song by Jojo, Baby I, you know the song? Apologize, I'm going crazy, 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 thinking about you. You know the song? It's old school that I know. I don't listen to. If you check the song you are listening to, does it edify? So not whether this is whether or here. It's up to you, right? Fed is here. Right. But the songs, I'm eager to see what's Spotify, because I know what I listen to. Like, I know what I listen to. If Instagram, I know what I listen to. So it's just to sit down and ask Spotify. Those of us who have Spotify, is on auto debit every month. They take out my money. So if it is not the direction you want to take, then consciously change it now. Check your phone. How many of us, the people who called us the most? At least you have an idea. Then ask yourself. It's retreat. You are asking yourself. Don't forget, if you are reflective, you will be what? Effective. Just ask yourself, do you want to be like this person in another 5 years? Why do you? why you know, it's not like you are wicked. You just have a future to get to. You will not be better than the quality of relationships you have. It is not magic. It is not. I'm moved because of the quality of relationships. People who are ahead of me that I talk to. Before coming here, I've gone to see an assistant inspector meeting from UN. What I listen to you and this person, in fact, sometimes I even listen to God. I listen to president. I listen to international person. Yesterday, I was speaking with somebody who was chief sustainability officer of one of the largest company. We spoke almost like 10 minutes. See, have I ever called you? We discuss 1 hour. Not because he's not his own person, but I also understand in my lineup, I need to be talking to people. I used to tell my wife, I said, so sometimes I told her, you're going, I have booked the same plane with you and this person. And she was pulling back. I said, there's something wrong with the way you're thinking. If me and Dangote sit down like this, do I have what to discuss with him for an hour? The friends that you are doing waka with, they create the ready to stretch. Don't say that, oh, no, me, I'm not at your level. It could be pride. But they
Good evening,
I've seen you
everyone.
somewhere. Where exactly? Somebody
At
invited
your
you. Huh?
40th birthday, sir.
Oh, thank you. Well done.
Yeah, so thank you so much for this wonderful session. This is my question, okay? I run a fashion business, okay, and the business is, let's say, about 2 years now. And to the glory of God, I know how I started and I know how far I have been able to come. Okay. Now, my question is this: I want to grow my business. There is a level I want my fashion brand to be, in fact, within the first quarter of next year. How do I access the right funding?
Okay, so funding. Okay, is that the question? Don't let me
One.
jump. Okay,
Big
go ahead.
question. Okay, your answer will actually.
So people think funding is a problem. Funding is not a problem. It's your language. So now that you have asked the question, so when you talk, be intentional about engaging people's belief. Do you believe me more after this session? I said I was going to build something in Kogi or something, right? Money comes from a depth of belief. There's money everywhere. You know, we talked about Sapa to surplus, and we said money is abundant. The biggest miracle that you can have for financial breakthrough is to think that money is abundant. It's everywhere. Let me tell this, turn it online, just pause it a little bit. And I'll tell you a personal story. Please take me offline. I had this friend. I had this friend. to ask the right person. And this thing, I don't even know how to do it. Because for people who are finding it hard to get funding, if you think it's a problem, it will be a problem. If you think it's available, you are not just talking to the right. It's the right set of people. I can give you 1 million. And people told that we will dash at 1 million. That's real. I'll bring you to 1 million. I can give you 1 million. Are there people who will struggle to give people 1 million? So if you are now making somebody who will struggle to give you 10,000, I say, give me 1 million, give me 1 million. Your mind will say it is difficult to get 1 million. But there are people who spend it in the back. It's the people you are talking to. So, first of all, it is you versus you. Expand. It's this fashion thing. You can do fashion at the level you're doing, or you can do fashion at the global level. It's your reference that will decide what level you want to do. If I were a fashion person, who are the successful? They call somebody on stage to give a talk and say the only source for rich. Madam AIG, she said she had a friend. The friend only sells to ministers and government. She doesn't open her shop. But they call her one evening. You have to call her to open her shop. In this amateur. And I go to them. The governor will call, okay, I need to. That's when she will open. She doesn't open until she gets the governor of the minister. Who do you want to open? If you want to solve problems, so everything is a mind game. This thing is a mind game. A friend of mine came to see me in the office, and I saw the car he drove. We were in fellowship together in school. I said, you have gone far. With the car, After he has sat down with me for almost 30 minutes, Jerry knows the person. He said it's me that is not doing it right. He said he was at my stage in 2019 until he said this same intelligence that I have, I can use it to serve people who pay me. You are too bright. You are just using your brightness to serve people who will not pay you. Glue that fashion. First of all, start with your image. Put the image of the best brand of thing. Put your logo, put the person's logo. I do that. Do that. In my office, you see some watching, you see Dangote, you see some ADM, because those are my models. Put your logo and this is the same size of frame. It's me now that did my money. How will I make their own size bigger? I did it the same size, quality, the same design. Put your logo, put their logo. They don't have heads, you don't have heads. It's one God gave all of us. Once your mind drags up, you yourself, your quality of talk will change. And once it changes, money will relevance. Is that okay? With these few points of mine, we can come back up. I hope I've convinced you and not confuse you that, hey, 2025 will be a better year. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Can we give our speaker a round of applause once again? Thank you so much, sir, for always pouring into us. We really appreciate. While he was talking about the predictability of life, I remembered a book I read by Sunday Adelaja. life is predictable. And one of the quotes he said was that a good life is a result of observing laws and principles. So when you observe laws and principles, the results are always predictable. So definitely life is predictable. And quickly, I would just want to know those who are just coming here for the first time. If this is your first time of attending the K Tribe meeting physically, can you just wave? Can we just have the mic go around so that they can introduce themselves? Can we give them a round of applause? Can we give them a round of applause? Just raise your hand so that the mic will just locate you. Just tell us your name and where you are coming from. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You can sit down. You can sit down.
All right. Okay, my name is Yemisi Enejo, and I'm coming from Buari.
Wow.
That's of
Wow. Wow. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael, and is the surname, coming all the way from Buhari too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry,
you
sir,
so
is
much.
that TTC? Does it mean the Transforming Church?
Yes,
or
it is. Yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
is. Yes, yes, sir. Thank you. So as the mic goes round, if you're online and this is your first time of joining online as well, you could just introduce yourself via the comment section.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Oluwa Toby, and I'm coming from Kubwa.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Azariah Akwanga. I'm coming right from PUA. I was invited by my pastor, actually.
Wow, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor.
My name is my name is Emmanuel Adibola, coming from Durumi.
Wow, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Dr. Janet Moyaki. I'm coming from Kano.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Dr. Yvonne Oga. I'm coming from Bassa Village Airport, and I was invited by Dr. Austin Asika.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Florence. I'm coming from Cuba. I was invited by my pastor, Pastor Fed.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Olayinka Kuye. I am coming from Cuba too. I was invited by Pastor Fed.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My
Good
name is
evening.
David Ajay. I'm coming from Dugbe.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening.
name is Dr. Jesse Jacob. I'm coming from Lokogoma.
You're welcome, sir. Do you have any more? Okay, someone in front here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lukman Abdullahi. I'm coming from Gwagwalada.
Oh.
I was invited by Dr. Iben.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sorry.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Abdulbasit Fasasi. I was invited by everyone.
All right. Do you have any more persons? Okay, once again. Okay, there's someone there.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Farouk Muhammad. I'm also coming from Kano State.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Can we give those coming for the first time a round of applause? Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you so much for coming today. Here we believe that it's possible for you to grow. We believe in endless possibilities. And that is why we are all gathered here today. So let's go with the mindset of applying what we've learned. You know, there's a question that just came to my mind. It said, are you willing and ready to apply all you've learned? Are you willing or ready to go all the way? And I like what Nike usually say, just do it. Just do it, just start, and it will always be predictable. Just start. Thank you so much. We'll get back to you on our next meeting date. Thank you, and have a lovely retreat before 2025. Thank you. can just hang out, just ask, talk to a few persons before you